everyone, welcome to Divine Sacred Tarot. This is going to be it could be a trigger warning, maybe because of the thumbnail and the content. And I've done this before, but I've been asked to channel these specific messages again. That every time you see the final test of the twin flame. You are so close. You are on your last leg of the journey. I don't mean to make fun, but this is exactly why you were supposed to see these messages. Now, if any of you are seeing emotions, you're seeing things that rile your jealousy or your triggers, there is a very specific card that wanted to come up because right now you are supposed to look at the ways that you are now consciously sabotaging efforts. You're consciously sabotaging your moves forward. You're constantly, consciously looking at the ways you've been insecure in love, and then the things that make you feel like you're not enough, the wounds that probably make you feel a little bit jealous. Now, the reason I say the final test will trigger you, it's because of that very thing. The very thing that is being highlighted on social media in itself is a distraction. We know this. There is going to be third parties, and please, 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 third parties include people, include devices, digital or otherwise. They include things, material things. Everything is a third party in a karmic situation. But again, karma is both good and bad. Take away the labels. Right now, there is some sort of spiritual warfare happening. There is some energetic battles that are being heightened. Now, some of you may already have vivid dreams about your warfare or being with your twin flame or protecting them or they're protecting you. This isn't imagination. This is actual karmic energies, manipulations. But you are supposed to be under the illusion of a misunderstanding. You're supposed to say, well, I've done the healing, but my twin flame's not here. Why aren't they here? I'm supposed to be on my last leg of the journey. Somebody told me it was going to be June, July time. Those are the narratives that are supposed to trigger you. It's supposed to trigger your twin flame. And all of these third party, all encompassing karmic provoking things are heightening those darker forces. But what they don't know is whoever's listening to this, you're used to the dark. You cried in the dark. You held yourself in the dark. You got used to the dark. You are the darkness. And in a way that you know how to ignite your light from within. Now, you want your divine masculine and feminine to come in. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching this reading. Of course you do. There is this sliver, this tiny thread of the red silver thread of your twin flame, the connection. There is hope about the both of you uniting, reuniting. And this is because there is a desire, there is a soul calling within your heart space. Now, there is going to be every sort of delays, distractions, misunderstandings, prodding. You know how your family members are supposed to trigger you? People forget that. They're supposed to trigger you. Of course they are. They're your biggest lessons. Now, the divine masculines and the feminines are under pressure. We know this. There is going to be some masculines who feel angry, numb, pulling away from their truth. Divine feminines, you're probably questioning your life path. Or even not even in a catastrophic way. It's just that those tiny whispers are kind of creeping back in. And this is now you being aware of what is going on. Now, you're just not just seeing these illusions being presented to you, and you're not just entertaining them, you're actually being the observer. You know that you're supposed to be triggered into thinking it's going to happen at a certain time, at a certain way. You have been triggered to let go of your control. You have been triggered to tell you time is running out, that you're getting older, that it may not happen for you. There's going to be guilt. There's going to be emotional manipulation. There's going to be spiritual attacks. You probably are going to be feeling this through all these different energies. So what are you doing to protect yourself? None of this is here to scare you, but it's really heightening the conscious awareness. The fact that you're actually aware of this, the fact that you got called to this message, this timeless message, you got called to it and you're resonating with it, just shows how much work you've done. Your intuition is so on target with the divine. You are the co-creator. Now, yeah, there may be some sort of coldness or distance or healing. So behind closed doors, you probably are aware of how much protection that you need to put around yourself. You may be smudging, you may be lighting incense a little bit more in accordance to your intuition. Like it's almost like I need to do it now kind of thing. Now that those sorts of rituals, these types of energy is really allowing you to stay aware that if your person is probably a little bit cold or distant or silent, yeah, they probably are avoiding you in order to protect you. That's their logic. And the karmic will continually want to pull them and distract them and veer them off path, right? But the same for you. Your karmics, there's going to be other people, even friends, who don't believe in this. Sometimes, you having to try and convince people of your own beliefs is a losing battle in itself. It's supposed to trigger you. And the universe is really, really pushing you to find the peace and the love and the unconditional love that you hold within yourself. This is the time that if you're even aware of these messages, that you're reminded of the peace and the love that you've cultivated, that before, especially earlier on in the twin flame journey, or for some of you who have recently awakened to this journey, you may have been in this energy of chasing or worrying or uncertainty. Now, this is a very specific time to cleanse, ground, protect your energy. Of course it is. Those attachments are being presented to you so you can be disconnected from their own light, right? There are going to be people who just don't want to do the work or are specifically here to push you. Everybody's a mirror. So what is coming up for you? Like, so for example, recently, I haven't had this in a while, but I've had two sorts of distractions being presented to me. One of them is incredibly beautiful women, like absolutely incredibly beautiful women with incredible bodies. And I used to be one who would say, well, that's not me. That would never be me. I could never look like that. And I understand where that insecurity and jealousy had stemmed from. Then there is another part of me who is seeing incredibly beautiful women who are successful and who are thriving. And I'm like, yes, queen, you do you. This is amazing. I'm going to cheer you on from the sidelines. But there is a clear distinction that is happening right now. So I'm seeing both the light and the dark side of that same lesson playing out in front of me right now. Why am I bringing this up as an example? Because it's super, super easy. When you have a look at the way the divine is presenting to you a mirror, are you seeing women and you're celebrating them? Or are you seeing women and you feel a little bit threatened by them? That's supposed to arise. Your emotions, your thoughts, nobody can really manipulate your energy, but everybody's a mirror into what is maybe like brewing underneath the surface regarding untapped insecurities, all the insecurities that have already been there, and you just have been ignoring them. You've been pushing them down. And those are the types of energies that this is one example, but that's the type of example that comes up to see that you're going to see two sides of this, but you get to choose which. It's almost like that wolf energy, which wolf do you want to feed? What part of you do you want to enliven, thrive, expand? Because there is an awakened spiritual light. There is a frequency within you that are drawn to things and that allow you to be a co-creator, a manifester in this world. But it's also showing you that the negative side is working really, really, really hard against a lot of people right now. So there's going to be false teachers, there's going to be false like individuals, there's going to be karmic connections, counterparts, there's going to be digital distractions, some people who just want to proclaim that they're an oracle or a reader. Or I had found earlier on in my journey, there were certain people, certain tarot readers I just really physically felt sick from. I would listen to their readings and I physically felt sick. I knew those messages weren't for me, but I had to go through that to understand those messages weren't for me. Now, there is this element of fake spirituality. There is this element of like tapping into people's energy because they're lacking that true authenticity. They're so absorbed in that dark energy. Artificial intelligence is one. There is certain people who are really hoodwinked into that energy, but then I'm also seeing that there are people who are spiritual and are using AI. Doesn't mean they're all bad. No, it just means they're just using certain tools to enhance what they want to deliver. Does it mean that you're going down a narrow, dark pathway? No, it just means that you need to constantly forgive who you were. And they want you to forget who you are and who you're becoming. But you're supposed to remember. So I really like Shiva Twin Flame had actually posted this probably a couple of days ago. She mentioned heaven is not in the sky, and that's absolutely true. That heaven exists within us. Now we have this pull and push energy between our heart and head, and we're constantly being told that our happiness is outside of us, that we need to chase all of these things to prove that we are successful and we are of this earth. But your union as a twin flame always stems within you. What this person is presenting in front of you, your twin flame, is everything, every part of you. So all of the light, all of the joy, all of the success, all of the intelligence, all of the passion that they bring up in you is you. Let all of these feelings of sadness or pressure or emotions come up if you need them to just be unleashed, just be given room to breathe. But this isn't the time to give up. This isn't the time to push those emotions aside. This is a time to assess where you've been rejected, where you've been abandoned, where you've been hurt and betrayed. Let it come to the surface and let it leave, because you're not the old version of you anymore. Now, yeah, it's amazing to be in union, but when you are in union, you're going to have more lessons, more triggers as a union. So this journey of healing isn't ever over. As a couple, you're going to be holding It's such a profound legacy, such a profound light, such an infinite power that your connection is already being attacked while it's vulnerable. But when you are standing firm in your grounded foundation, you must know that divine love lives within you and will always succeed. There are so many connections out there that we don't see the truth. There are so many people blocking and fearing and posting comments to trigger you. There's a reason why you see all of these things. There's also a reason why we do need to be careful with what we ingest in the frequency. So this isn't a message to trigger you and then say, okay, good luck, bye. This is a message of hope. This is a message of remembrance. This is a message to align yourself with everything that is love. And this is why I constantly ask my higher self, my divine masculine's higher self, the angels, guides, ancestors, and spirit team. This love exists within you. There are temporary blocks. There are things that want to pull you apart, but you're better than that. You're stronger than that. You're more capable of all of that. This is such a profound time. And just as a last card from the Goddess Power, the Colette Baron Reid cards of Oracle, I pulled a card called Shakti, and she is the transformation goddess. And she basically emphasizes that sometimes people and situations come into our lives as a kind of change agents, that they are the ones that turn our lives upside down. And what we thought was once real and we wanted to be challenged in a way, their own perspective, their own behavior, none of us have control over. And it could be painful, it could be confusing, it could be, very triggering. But the whole point of this is you are being met by the creator goddess Shakti. The goddesses, the angels, the guides, the ancestors, they are all wanting to communicate with you to give you this higher guidance. It's coming from you, that you can see how things are balanced, how things are off balance. Their guidance can only be given when it's asked for. So, are you able to get that support when you open up those old wounds? Can you feel safe when you open those things up? And some of you are seeking a massive change. You are actually going through this magical metamorphosis for a better life for you, for your loved ones. And your alignment is purposeful to align with love, to align with a part of yourself that sabotages your efforts to move forward, to love the insecure you, the one that is jealous, the one that sees that they're probably not enough. When the world is truly full of potential, everything is a mirror of you. So allow life to love you. Allow the love to be mirrored back to you. And the feminine spirit, the feminine aspect of the universe, the great goddess herself, all of your angels, all of your guides, all of your helpers, even your oracles, such as me, we are all here to remind you that you came here as a spiritual being to learn and co-create to the world anew. And I want to leave the messages right there. And I'm just sending you an infinite amount of love, prosperity, and abundance. And if you wish to receive that, please do click the like button and receive it with all of your heart, because you truly, truly do deserve it. I'm sending you guys so much love. Bye for now.